Hello, and welcome to the Jekyll Hyde Club.
Today we are reviewing the Nintendo video game version of Stripe, but we had some words of warning to share about what really happens when you feed them after midnight. It's not what the movie says, it's something else. But the reason we got this version of Stripe is he's all like gray and orange and Halloween and Gothic because he looks like he does in the video game. So it's like Gothic Stripe, we have to have it. It's all gray and dark, yay, like his soul. Nintendo finally made him match his soul. And actually we know he's Mohawk in the second movie, but Stripe, Mohawk, it's all the same thing because we all know it's Stripe, and that's why they made him pretty much the same in the second movie. So, can't keep a good Stripe down. And so, the video game design is on this packaging, so that was kind of a cool move on Neca's part. They needed to do something cool, which I will complain about what they did that was uncool later. The box design with the Velcro flip back reminds me of my Renfield Dracula box because it has the cool movie poster, yeah, and that has the video game look, which we never had or played because we were little and Gomez was in Russia and I didn't play video games, so yeah.
It's a really nifty touch, like I assume the game was like that, but it looks like the Asian guy that sold the Mogwai's original
With Mogwai comes much
responsibility. Very nice patterns over here. So the game probably looked really impressive. It looks like nicely ornate, his room at least. And the box is made nicely because of that size that features the game. And I like also the style of like reminding us that it's Gremlins 2, the new batch. It looks, the background is reddish, almost like the movie trailer itself. It reminds me of, which I think was probably the point. And here's how the box looks, all large with gentle strap / mohawk on top of it. He looks so fun.
He's gentle until somebody screws with him, and that's how we all are.
Yes.
He's just happy. Look at that happy face. Put on a happy face. He enjoys everything so very much. That's why we love him so dearly. I want so many versions of him. There are only a few I reject, and like I just need every one of him I can get, and that's why we keep doing reviews of Gremlins because I'm obsessed over them. I love them. If you people haven't seen it, it's just the most brilliant thing if you love little monsters of adorableness. And Gremlins 2 is really funny too, so check out both of them if you have not. I'm shooting Gomez, but he's like invincible, so he's okay.
That is the gun. I think we even have a side that shows him with this gun, so I'll show you.
Because he uses it in the video game. This is going to be given away in a bundle of action figure accessories that we get when we get action figures, and you get stuff with it that you don't care about or aren't going to use or whatever. And that's gonna be our next giveaway. We usually do spooky horror giveaways, and this is gonna have all different kinds of stuff in it from all different kinds of action figures, and we'll announce it soon. But this gun we will not be keeping, so somebody is gonna get it. It's a nice size. It was strapped down to the box as well as Stripe inside the box. Well, Mohawk, whatever. It was strapped down inside with him, but it wasn't too hard to get out. Like, it wasn't one of those that you worry about breaking the toy to get it out, so it was decent.
And it's interesting they made it right because its colors are also like sort of black and maybe orange a little. They match the temporary colors of Mohawk himself.
Yes, he's all Gothic. I'm like, I don't really care about the game, or I really like didn't want to buy a Neca figure of Stripe because I don't like the way Neca put them together, as in very poorly. So I love my stripes and I don't want crappy put together stripes, but it was all Gothic and dark, so we had to do it for our channel, for you, for us. Okay, now, without further ado, presenting the lovely, the one, the only,
the guest of honor,
Stripe himself. Okay, so, this is the deal. In his hand, he is enjoying some popcorn. We were watching a Dracula movie from '77 off YouTube together, and he was having some popcorn. So this actually, the popcorn he's holding came from Cinema Gremlin of the reaction figures, the only Cinema Gremlin there is, and that is Funko, and we reviewed that a while back. But his popcorn is so ginormous that that little tiny reaction figure cannot hold it. They made the Gremlins like extremely tiny. All the packages say 3 3/4 inches, but they lie with Sam from Trick or Treat and the Gremlins and probably Chucky. So anyway, this is a little popcorn that Cinema came with. I was gonna glue it in his hand, but then when I got him, I discovered he couldn't even hold it, even with glue. His hands won't do it. So I thought, you know, I'll hold on to this, and eventually, with all my obsessive buying of Stripe figures, I'll get a Stripe that can hold it. And you know how much Stripe loves popcorn and candy. Stripe just loves his chocolate and his popcorn. Chocolate first, popcorn second. I saw the Haunted Bat review them, and I wanted to get them on Halloween. I was just getting so much other stuff. These little cute Halloween Shopkins candies. And now that I have this Stripe with his hands so easily able to hold stuff, he wants more candy, so I told him I'd get him some Shopkins to hold. So we're going to buy some Halloween Shopkins that he'll have more nummies to hold, which is cooler than a gun thing that isn't really like his style. So anyway, as you can see, this just fits into his hand so great, and it's not loose either. Like, I have to want to take it out. So, like, if I move him or do whatever, the popcorn is not falling. So the best accessory he holds is the one he didn't even come with. The gun can kind of sort of hang in his hand, but, like, not really. And then if he holds it another way, it'll sort of stay. But it just doesn't look good. He doesn't... Let me see it. Let me see the gun. I'm going to put it in his hand to show you that he looks more natural, not... Whoa! Holding a gun. My first complaint about Neca, he doesn't stand up for himself worth crap. And most of the Neca figures don't. All my other Gremlins have to kind of lean on the back of a shelf that I got from them. And the only reason, if you're complaining about Neca, why did you get Neca Gremlins? Well, because like Phantom and Brain, Brain got made by Applause, a smaller version. We've reviewed all these in the past. We have a Gremlins playlist. If you guys are new, check it out. Like, share, subscribe, and we have all kinds of other fun, spooky videos. We are Gomez and Morticia. We were naughty and left our roommate Slappy out of the video today, but he's usually around. Will you stand up? Oh God, he'll stand up if you just don't brush him or breathe. I spread his legs out a little, so I have them bent in the straight form, he seems to topple more. So if you bend them and spread them out like that, he will stand up. But see, doesn't he look better with the popcorn than the gun? The gun just doesn't seem very stripe-ish. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what's wrong with this picture?
He prefers to use his own clothes usually in like other natural.
Yeah, it's like, let me take that out and it looks better. Yeah, he's good. So anyway, we're gonna pass that gun on to someone else. But okay. So we get the figure in the box, and the leg is broken off, like gone, like off. It's moving around in the box, and I was hoping it was an accessory moving around when we were opening the big box. I hear it rattling around. I'm like, oh, please let that be an accessory rattling around, because I don't jump to the negative. Oh God, something's broken first. But it wasn't an accessory unless you count his left leg as an accessory that he does not really need. We do not. We consider it a necessity. So, you know, normally when action figures have parts, you can just pop them. It has a socket and a pop, like a ball joint, and you just pop it back in, even though it's difficult sometimes. This thing would not go back in to save its life, or Stripe's life, or our lives. It just wouldn't do it. And I'm pushing and pushing. I even hurt my hand doing it, and it was just like on his little scale things. But it was just difficult. So I called my friend over who, again, can put together anything, make anything, customize anything. He had an issue. He had to take it home and put it in this like clamp thing and do it, and just insanely complicated. So, but his leg is back in now. I don't know if it was that bloody hard to get in, how the hell it came out. Like, I don't understand. But the other leg was strapped down to the box. I don't know if it was manufacturer. I did mention to the eBay seller that, you know, I don't see how that wasn't noticed, because it was really rattling, and it was packaged really well, so I don't see how it happened in the post. I don't know. It was just very odd, but seems to be okay now. It is holding his weight. It is looser than the right leg that did not pop out. They both move, but the one that we had to put back in is looser. It's far easier to move, as is the knee joint on that leg. And this knee joint on the right leg is tighter, but we already had issues with the knee joints on these Neca Gremlins. Flasher, we had to fix. He's got this bolt looking thing in his knee now, like with a person when they have knee surgery. He's got this thing in his knee, and you don't really notice it unless you point it out, and it's a lot more sturdy now with it. But Neca's knee joints on these Gremlins have just not been good, and I know a lot of people like Neca, and some of their other figures are made better, but I've seen several reviews with people talking about general Neca figures falling apart and being too fragile and not being made well. And, you know, my Freddy Krueger has a loose arm. It popped out, and it looks like it would just pop back in, but it's just kind of never been the same. It will, if I raise it up and down too much, it will pop off, and it's Neca. And just, you know, we're gentle and careful with our toys. I mean, like, we don't play rough with them, and if we're saying they're crappy and break, then they're crappy and break, so... If other people haven't had this problem, congratulations. I mean, like, you know, whatever, but I've had a lot, and so many people don't want to complain about something or say, I don't like this brand or whatever, because they'll offend people. You know what? Oh well, I don't like this brand. And normally I wouldn't buy them. I just really wanted this Gothic dark stripe, so I did, and of course I had problems with it before I even got out of the box. So, you know, if anybody else made it, I would definitely get that one and sell this one. Neca is not my go-to. There are a lot of other brands I like better. And like the LJN Gremlin, I have a bendy stripe. I have a stripe that doesn't pose at all. But you know what? He's not breaking, and he's cute, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's nice if you can move them around, but if certain companies cannot make the joints right, and they're gonna break if I can move them around, I'd rather just not move them. You know, but I've got others like Diamond Select and a lot of, who was it that made, was it Diamond Select that made our favorite Jekyll and Hyde?
Mezco.
Mezco. I love Mezco. I'm sure some people would say they have problems with Mezco too, but I can move my Mezco figures and they're doing good. And each person has their preferences, but we've had a lot of NECA breakages, but you know, it's nice to be able to move your figure and not have it break. So any company that can manage to be able to do that is great, but if they cannot, they should just not bother with points of articulation. My favorite NECA figure is Brain, because his knees don't bend and he doesn't have the bottom articulation and he hasn't broken. But anyway, so he has the shoulder joints, ball and socket. He has the same at the hip, which we discovered before unboxing him fully. The knees straighten out and bend, and then the foot will turn, which a lot of these things that move, like when they have all these different millions of points of articulation, to me that's just more points to break, and I don't really see the point. Like the only points I get from the movements I've done on his feet and legs are to make him stand up, and if they just made him in one position where he would already stand up, then I wouldn't have to do that, and I wouldn't need to move him, so it would be a moot point, you know. So the only good reason to turn the knees and straighten them and move the feet is to make him stand, and if they just made him right, he would stand anyway. So, hello. Just a little common sense, and I don't understand why these toy designers seem so lacking in common sense. It's like, do you have to not have common sense to be able to design a good toy? Is that what has to happen? Anyway, same issue with the arms. He has the ball and socket in the shoulder. He has the elbow up and down, straightening and bending as he would in the knee, and let's not mess with your popcorn. He doesn't want to twist his wrist. He has wrist articulation as he does in the ankle that just goes side to side. So, and so far none of that has broken yet. But I really don't pose my gremlins a lot or move them or play with them from NECA because of the fact that they do feel very fragile and iffy. And Flasher is one of the ones that I like Flasher, but he wasn't like my go-to favorite. We barely moved him and he broke. So like, Phantom is my top favorite, and I play with him more, and he has not broken. Not my top favorite Gremlin, my top favorite NECA, because my other favorite stripes are not NECA. So Phantom is my second favorite Gremlin. But if anybody else makes a Phantom that doesn't look stupid and cartoony, I would so be on it, preferring it over NECA. So the only NECAs I have are the ones I don't have a choice to have if I want that figure, that character in my collection. And it's just sad because it would be easy to just make it more adorable, and they just don't. I just think people should care about their product. And yes, I'm saying it. I don't care. So, we're done. Oh, you know what I love though about this figure? He has jaw articulation, and a lot of the Gremlins did not. So he can be like that, or he can be eating the popcorn. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yummy, there he goes. Or he can have, yes, or he can have his mouth open yelling and laughing, whatever he wants to do, like, Brain, bring me more chocolate.
It's coming, old chub, it's coming.
Get faster. And it's funny, if you look at the back of him, like, it's supposed to just be like a little thing, but they made it where it's almost like this Loch Ness Monster fish fin on his back. Which is funny because in this fanfic I did, I have him where he is Stripe, and this is the original Stripe. He survives the first, you know, where he's in the fountain and they Gizmo draws back the curtain and the sunlight gets him. Where I wrote it, that happens, it's just that he dives under the water instead of disintegrating, so he has to stay under there all day and until the sun is over and he comes out, and when he does, he comes out looking like this, except not this color, he's like the regular Mohawk, like aqua color. And he has this looking fin thing going on and everything because gremlins, you know, in the movie, they multiply in water. So if you think about it, what he explained in my fic is that you multiply, but when you're at your weakest, like about to die, you know, you have nothing to really multiply, so the water just heals you. And then you stay under, and then you kind of like, they're kind of like amphibian-ish where they can breathe under the water too when they get this kind of stuff going on. So that's how he hides, and that's why he becomes all fishy. Well, not really fishy, but it does. It looks like a fish thing, kind of. But anyway, so that's why to me Stripe is Mohawk. That's my story. We are writers and we can get really geeked out with the characters we love. And so many people apologize for writing, and I see people on their YouTube channels going like, I do fan fiction, I'm really sorry, and that's embarrassing. I'm like, why? I think it's good to be creative and say, I think I improved this story and this logic and whatever, and put it up for people to read. Like,
yeah.
I mean, really, I'm like, I think it's awesome. So, expressing one's creative imagination is good. Whee! Okay. I'm just going, it's dumb to have to post them, but you know what, I wouldn't mind. I never play with my other one and go, I wish I could move him. I'm gonna enjoy this one before it breaks. I'm moving it gently and it's still just like whatever, but you know, it's okay. So yes, this is the video game Stripe. It's so cool. And his head goes up and down and side to side. Not too far because I think his back fin kind of gets in the way a little, or his something, or else I'm just not gonna mess with that joint. I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. It will move some. He doesn't really need to turn his head that far. But I really love the mouth. You can see his teeth. Move your hand, Stripe. Come on. There. You can see his teeth really well, which is cool. I like the open mouth. And you know, I have other ones that his mouth is open, like in a smile, but that's like super open. Like he could go to the dentist with that face. Just imagining what would happen to the dentist. Too much chocolate, just fix it. But if you scream, I will bite you. Okay, so I have had my coffee rant and my coffee fanfic babble. We had yummy caramel frappuccinos at McDonald's. There's this awesome t-shirt I want to get that says like, don't give gremlins coffee after midnight or something. I can't remember what it says, but it's about coffee and after midnight. Oh, what I was going to say about after midnight, the real story with the gremlins. Our friend that fixed him calls and goes, okay, I fixed his leg. Here's, I just gave it to him to take home. And he goes, what the box should say is, don't feed them after midnight or their legs fall off. And I was like, that's really good, especially if they're from Neca. So, don't feed your Neca gremlins after midnight, people, or their legs will fall off. And their limbs will be crappy. So that's what happens. And you know, Stripe has got his popcorn, so he's probably going to be bad and eat it after midnight. So wish him luck with his Neca joints. At least I have my friend who can make and fix anything to fix it, like he fixed our knee joint in Flasher Gremlin. So yeah.
Like our gremlin doctor.
Our gremlin doctor, yeah, he put like a screw and bolt in there, I guess, wasn't it? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it actually worked because now you can actually move it though. I'm like, yeah, I guess you can. So anyway, we can get babbly. I can get babbly when it comes to Stripe. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
He's my super fave. He says, thank you for watching YouTube. We're going to go have coffee and popcorn now. Happy weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye, Stripe.